Welcome back, dear viewers, and still continuing our coverage of Egypt's presidential elections 2024 that started across governorates in Egypt on Sunday. And we're delighted to be joined over the phone by Ambassador Medhat Meligy, former assistant to the foreign minister. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you and all your viewers and all our voters.
Thank you, sir. The National Elections Authority facilitated the citizens voting to reach their polling stations, and the procedures for also people of determination to cast their ballots. How do you see the significance of voting? Every citizen should go and cast his ballot. How do you see these procedures taken to facilitate eligible voters? We have 65 million voters to go and cast their ballots.
Well, actually, I took the liberty today to take a tour around some polls in my area where I live. And of course, I seized also the opportunity to go to the school where I was designated to vote in, and I casted my vote as well. And I was really amazed with the participation of simple people of Egypt, the regular people of Egypt, who understand the duty and the importance of going to the voting polls and cast their vote.
Right. Ambassador Meligy, you've just mentioned that you've been to your polling station to cast your ballot. Tell me, how did you see the voters turn out and the representation of the different categories of the society, women, youth, elderly, and also people of determination?
There was this feeling of pride among everybody who was there, that they understand and they respect their duty, and they understand the importance of going to the voting polls to cast their vote. And among the simple people, you know, and how they express their feeling about their freedom of going and voting, and their freedom of expressing their voices into the society and to choose the president who is going to be with us for the next 6 years. Even, and I say this with no, I'm not shy to say it, even if some of them see that it's already like, it looks like obvious, the result in a certain way, but still they understand the importance of going and to vote and to participate in the future of their country. And this is the best thing I found. And as I said, I didn't just go to one voting poll. I went to several schools to check how is the atmosphere in general, and I was amazed. Maybe because I'm an ambassador, and usually I'm abroad when the election takes place, so I was really happy to be in my own country and voting like every other Egyptian in the voting polls.
Yes, sir, 14 international organizations and around 62 local organizations are monitoring the electoral process. How does this reflect the transparency of the electoral process, in your opinion?
Well, as simple as that we don't have anything to hide, that we are proud of what we are doing, and that the judges who are presiding every electoral poll is in his place and helping the people, making them understand the rules so nobody would do a mistake while casting his vote. And moreover, the importance of showing to the international community represented by these organizations how we care about the future of our country, especially in this delicate moment that we are going through. We all know what's on our borders these days and how we all feel, and maybe this is a push to more voters to be present and to participate in this voting. It's very important. We are in a very delicate moment, and whoever the president that we are going to choose, we have to show him that we are backing him up and we are standing beside him until we pass this hard moment in our region.
Right. Well, Ambassador Meligy, we've seen high women representation during the day, starting from the early hours of the day, queuing in front of polling stations. How do you evaluate the political awareness of women and their contribution in the political life in Egypt, specifically in recent years?
Well, what I can see that even what we used to call the marginalized people were present. I have seen them sitting in front of the schools where the elections were taking place, and they were calling me, "Are you going in? Please don't forget to vote and don't forget to put the ink." So even people, simple people, were very enthusiastic about the newcomers who are standing in the line waiting for their turn to go and cast their vote. But what's more important is that we had the chance, all the candidates had the chance to explain what they're planning to do with the Egyptian people for the next 4 years. And everybody, no, I found that those people are aware of the names and the signs and symbols of each and every candidate of who is presented to the election. And for me, it was important to understand to which extent they were aware of what we are going through and what would this mean. And I found among them a very good understanding of the whole situation and the importance of the election, which made me even more proud to be among them.
Ambassador Meligy, in the elections abroad, we've seen a high voters turnout in general, and specifically among women. We've seen women even taking their children to the polling stations in a festive mood. How would you like to elaborate on the voters turnout in the elections abroad?
Well, actually, as you mentioned, it was very important to show to the world that every member of the society, whether we are talking about women or we are talking about people who have some kind of disability or even some old people, everybody was there. I mean, I have seen all the spectrum of our society. They were all present there. And this shows that the whole population is concerned with the election and with concern with the candidates. And they know who they vote. I don't want to say that some of them asked me, "Why don't you vote for this or that person?" And I said, "I will choose my own candidate that I will vote for, although that I understand what they were saying." But I mean, and it wasn't just one. I mean, some of them asked me about this one, some of them asked me about someone else. But they are concerned and they are participating and they are enthusiastic about the whole process. And as you just described it, it was like a festive environment that made everybody happy with the day. Although there was no vacation or day off for anyone, but everybody was there as much as they could. I spoke to some of my colleagues who said that we will go after our work since it's open from 9 to 9, so we have time until 9 p.m. Those who finish late their job can still go and vote and everything. So yes. I'm sure that we are going to have a very good turnout of the elections, and we hope that, as we say, may the best man win. And I think that the recent events that we've seen around in the region made us even see another aspect of every candidate and who can be better to lead us for the 6 years to come.
Right. Well, sir, we have 4 contesting candidates, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and Farid Zahran, Abdel Sanad Yamama and Hazim Omar. What points are shared among the elections program of the candidates, and what do you think are the main challenges that will be facing the winning candidate in these elections?
Well, first of all, internationally, I don't need to describe the situation more. On our east, we have the Palestinian problem that has been reigning over the whole scene. And of course, south of Egypt, we have the Sudanese problem that isn't solved yet. To the west, we have the Libyan problem. So, I mean, we are actually surrounded by several problems in the area. And we are the only oasis of democracy in this area. And it's very important to understand that this is not easy, actually, to live in all these hard environments around us. That's number one. Number two, we have the local problems. It's not a secret that we have economic problems, and it's worldwide. Maybe it's pushing us a little bit more, since one of our, for instance, most important revenues are coming from tourism, and the two major contributors to this tourism, which is Russia and Ukraine, are both held in their war together. So this actually is, in a certain way, affecting the tourism industry in Egypt. But we have other things to work for. The current president, is trying to do his best so that we can get out of this problem. But let me say the following, that there is no difference between the four candidates in their patriotism. I am sure all of them are patriots enough to lead the country. But the only difference that will differentiate between each one of them is his way of taking the country into the new era, the new republic, as we call it, who is better, have the better tools to lead us out of this. But we cannot say that there is one who is more patriotic than the others. But there is one who knows his way better than the others, and that's the one that the Egyptians are going to choose, with God willing, inshallah.
Right. Well, I would like to thank you very much, Ambassador Medhat Al-Meligy, former assistant to the Foreign Minister. Many thanks for your insight. And dear viewers, now we go to a short break and we'll be back to continue our coverage of Egypt's presidential elections 2024. Stay tuned.